Sephora sale is here and I have so many good recommendations for you. I actually decided to split the video in two and do a part 1 that includes the makeup recommendations and a part 2 that includes everything else like skincare, hair care, body care, candles, fragrance, and also my wish list or what I have in my cart. I thought that would be interesting. So I'm excited. It's going to be a long one. You guys know I don't hold back in these videos, but I did decide to try my best to keep it to 3 products per category so I won't overwhelm you. However, lips, blushes, we kind of maybe didn't do that great, or eyeshadow. Anyway, I did my best, okay? Because I have so many Sephora recommendations video, I decided in this video to kind of focus on the newer-ish products. Some of the products that I have here aren't new. It's just what I reach and I prefer over the old ones, but I did try to kind of make it interesting and not boring. If I talk about my M.ph every single 6 months in my recommendations, you're like, I already know you like that. So I'm trying to change things up a little bit. So hopefully that will be fun. So grab something to drink. It will be a long one. And let's get started. I am going to start with the way I apply my makeup, and we're starting with a primer. Now, I do like to focus on my skincare mainly, but there are a few primers that I reach for often. Now, one of them is this Ilia Base Face Milk, and this is a great kind of a moisturizing toner. I like to use it as a primer because it kind of gives a slight luminosity to the skin, not glowy, but it just makes your skin look healthy. It's moisturizing, and I really like the way foundation goes on top of this. I think this is my 2nd bottle, if not 3rd. Now, if you are like me and you like to focus on your pores, just kind of making them look smoother, but you don't want something super intense, kind of like the Tarte Primus. This one, I never know the name, okay? It's been years. So I do like this product, but it can be quite intense. So I've been reaching for the Danessa Myricks Balm pretty much every day. This is the Yummy Skin in the shade 3. It comes in clear color as well. And I've had this for a while and I feel like I'm barely making a dent because I need so little product. So I'll put my finger straight on it and then I'll kind of push the product into the pore area. And I really like it. I think it gives this really beautiful kind of smooth look to your pores. And because it's pigmented, it does give just a little bit of coverage, but I don't use enough to where it covers my freckles or anything like that. It's just a little extra coverage. And I've been reaching for this so much. Even when I have drier skin, I feel like this one works because it's not quite as intense and as other pore filling primers. So this is a favorite. I'm going to give you a glowy option. This is the Dior Forever Glow. And I think this is probably the most beautiful glowy primer. If you like the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless filter, I think this one's better. It's a little smoother. It goes around the pore area pretty nicely, and it's not as metallic. It's just smoother. It gives the most beautiful glow on your skin. Look at that finish. Yeah, it's stunning. And this is the shade 3. After I am done priming my skin, I actually move to the lips, and I use the lip stain every single day. Even if I don't wear makeup, I will use a lip stain. And that's because I don't have naturally very pigmented lips. And they kind of fade into my skin. I've had that my entire life. I was always jealous of one of my sisters that has such defined lips and they have such beautiful pigment to them. And I never had that. So because of that, I use lip stain all the time. I am so excited to share that my favorite lip stain is now available at Sephora, and that is the Wonderskin lip stains. And this portion is in collaboration with them. And I'm very excited because I have used these for years and went through so many different tubes. And I know it's kind of hard to find them. So having them at Sephora, it just makes it easier, that, it's always there. and they have some beautiful colors available. They don't have their entire color like selection at Sephora, but hopefully they'll work on that. But some of my favorite ones are available, and I'll show you the ones that I'm talking about. I did do inserts of me applying 3 of the colors, and just have grace for my lips and my application, because these are meant to stay pretty much all day, and I was scrubbing my lips raw to try to kind of show you the product. So yeah, just, you know, if it's not super even, disregard that. But the way these work is that it actually looks very blue when it comes out of the tube, and you apply it on the lips. Make sure that your lips are completely clean, that there's no oils. So you apply this, it goes blue, do not freak out, and then you let it rest for about 60 seconds. Make sure it's fully dry, and then you take a tissue with a little bit of water, and then the stain is left over, and that stain is very long lasting. If you want more intensity, you can do this a couple of times to have a lot more pigment. I never do that, but in case you want, you know, very intense color, you can always add another layer. So let me show you the colors that I have. The lightest one that I have is Whimsical, and there's actually another lighter shade. It's called XOXO. It's like a light nudie pink. But the one I'm showing you today is Whimsical, and this is described as a warm rosy color, but on me it's actually quite cool tone, and I really like it. I like that it's softer, it's not super intense. Some shades are more pigmented than others, but I really like this one because of that softness that it has. It still defines my lips really well, and it works great, it lasts, but the pigment isn't super intense, so I can actually layer whatever products I want on top of it and it won't interfere. That is Whimsical. The next one I have here is Charming, and this one is a little bit more intense. I actually swatched them on my hand. I still have this swatches since this morning, and you can kind of see the difference between Whimsical, which is right here, Charming, and then Lovely. I'll show you in just a little bit, but Charming is a little bit more intense. It has more pigment. It has a little bit more, I wouldn't say pink in it. It has more rose in it. And I really like it. I actually really liked it with the sweater that I was wearing today. They do describe this one online as a toffee rose stain, and I agree with it. It's not too pink, but it has that rosiness in it, and it also has depth. It's not quite brown, but it has that depth to it. And I really think it's such a beautiful shade. This is one that I reach for, and I like to pair this one with a browner liner, kind of fade it in, and that's it. Maybe a gloss on top. And then the last one is my favorite. You guys know I've used this in so many videos, and that is the shade Lovely. And this is more of a chestnut color. I like that it's leaning a little bit more brown. I would like to say that I've tried so many stains in my life, and most of them end up looking either super pink or super red on me, and I don't want that. I want something that is soft, wearable every day. Even though this isn't full on brown on me, I think it gives more of that warm brownie undertone, and I think it is flattering. I would say that it is my perfect everyday stain. It fades really beautifully, and I think it just looks natural on my skin. So Lovely is without a doubt my favorite. I have gone through so many of these, and this one's almost gone. Go check them out. I think they're beautiful, incredible stains that have stood the test of time. I've had them for years, and I think they are absolutely beautiful. I will make sure that I link everything down below, and thank you Wonderskin for working with me. It's just really exciting when I get to work with a brand and a product that I've been using for years. That's probably my most repurchased makeup product in my entire collection. Moving on to foundations, and I've picked 3 of them. And the first one is a skin tint, and this will come as no surprise. It is the Merit, the Uniform Tinted Mineral SPF 45. I love this product so much. Since it was released, I cannot put it down. It's my everyday kind of skin tint. I think it's so beautiful. It has this beautiful finish on the skin where it is radiant, but it's not oily and it doesn't stay wet. However, it's very interesting because for a product that is a little bit more radiant, it gives such a blur to the skin. And I think that that's the most impressive thing about it from somebody who struggles with large pores. This is so smooth around the pores, so smooth around my fine lines. Like I have smile lines right here. It never gets into there. Beautiful. It's long lasting. My new favorite skin tint. The next foundation is the not exact opposite, but it is a fuller coverage and it is more of a natural finish. And that is the Makeup by Mario new foundation. What's the name of it? SurrealSkin Natural Finish Foundation. And this is a true natural finish. I almost dropped this on the laptop. I do have two shades. I have 6W and 9W. 9W is my summer shade. 6W is my winter shade. Right now I'm extremely pale and this would be a good shade for me. I love the way this sits on the skin. I love the way it looks on the pores. I love the way it feels on the skin. It kind of feels like nothing. I love that it gives me really good coverage. I can have a medium full coverage with this or just medium if I kind of spread it out. And I love that it's a natural finish. And then the next one is, I would say an old favorite, even though it's only been out for maybe a year, but I've spoken about this one so much. This is the Givenchy Prisme Libre Glow Serum Foundation. This foundation was like an immediate love. The second I applied it on my skin and I was like blending it in, I was absolutely shocked how beautiful it sat on the skin, how beautiful it went over pores, even though it has like a glowier finish. It is so stunning. And dare I say, at Sephora, is probably my number one foundation at the moment. I think they did an incredible job with this one. And I like how long lasting it is. I like how it sits on the skin. I like how it sits on the pores. I do powder my T-zone when I wear this foundation, but I powder my T-zone all the time. But yeah, it has such a stunning blurring effect on the skin, yet it still gives you some radiance. It's not super glowy, so don't think like you're gonna be extremely radiant, but it's the foundation I'm wearing today and I think it's so smooth. I would say it's a medium buildable coverage, which means like I could get a medium out of it or I could build it up to a medium full. And I think it's stunning. I am wearing the shade 3W. Moving on to concealers, nothing new here. So there's no new concealers that I'm like, wow, this is so good. I have to recommend it. I'm still stuck on my Hourglass concealer. I had a phase where I hated this concealer. I thought it was dry and heavy and I've learned to use it. I use it very little. I spread it out. It's a very spreadable concealer with a lot of base pigment, which I like because I really do like to cover my under eyes. I feel like if I don't cover them, I just look tired and sick. So this has been my number one concealer. However, if I need a little bit more radiance, the Sarah Creal concealer is absolutely incredible. If you have mature under eyes, if you have dry under eyes, if you like a medium coverage concealer with radiance, this is it. It's very expensive, but I have two shades and I would repurchase these in a heartbeat. I think the finish is probably the most beautiful out of all of my concealers. I just finished a 2-hour conversation on the phone with my mother-in-law. A great conversation. She's incredible, but I think I was talking about the Sarah Creal concealer, how much I love it. It's great. It's priced pretty high, but it is so good. And I think a lot of people are going to love it. Unless you are oily, I don't think you would love that one. The next concealer, it's an old favorite, the Tower 28 concealer. These have been the 3 concealers that I've been reaching for, I would say, the past 6 months. I dabbled here and there with other concealers, but these have been just staples in my collection. I think they're so beautiful. Tower 28 is this beautiful serum concealer, medium coverage. Moving on to cream bronzers / contours. I have to say that these Westman Atelier bronzing drops have been sitting right here. I've been using them almost every single day. I used them today. I have a bronzer on top, but I love these so much. I think they're beautiful. They're very luxurious. They blend in very nicely. I tend to go for these two shades, the lightest, like shade 1 and 2. 2 is if I want more of a actual bronze and I'm a little more tan, but shade 1 is a beautiful contoury shade. These blend in so nicely. They're so smooth. They set down, and I think that they are fabulous. So I highly recommend these. Okay, the second kind of contour bronzer, or cream bronzer, are the Sarah Creal bronzers. This is shade 2. I have shade 1 somewhere. I use both of them. I would say shade 1 is better for kind of contouring or sculpting the face. Shade 2 is a better kind of bronzy shade. It's a very blendable emollient. I don't find that it sits glowy throughout the day. Like, it does set down, and it's just so blendable, so beautiful. It's right there. And yeah, this has been very much loved. Where's my other one? Here is the other color, shade 1. I don't know if you can tell. Wow, it literally has so much gunk in there. It is what it is. So shade 1 and shade 2. I love both. If I could only keep one shade, I think I would go for shade 1 for winter time, because I can definitely kind of sculpt my face with this. And then I decided to put the M.ph palette in here, just because it is the whole idea of contouring, highlighting, and sculpting your face. And I love this palette so much. I have a huge dent in most of these colors, definitely the contour shade the most, but I use all of them. I can underpaint with this palette so quickly. And then once I put a skin tint over it, it just blends itself. So I love the color story. I think it gives you the most kind of flawless shaping to your face if you use this technique. And I've used it on top of my foundation as well. I don't like using this when I am using any sort of a medium to full coverage foundation. I just think it's kind of a waste, honestly. So if you are somebody who loves that kind of flawless contour highlight to your face, and you use a lot of skin tints, lighter coverage foundation, even light to medium, I think that you would love this. I don't think it's for everybody. You know, if you like a full glam, I kind of feel like this won't give you much. But if you're into that more kind of clean aesthetic and you want to contour, I think this is so beautiful. Moving on to actual bronzers. I mean, the Fara Homidi bronzers, I think they will come as no surprise. These are pretty much my favorite bronzers that I own. They are so loved, as you can see. This is the shade Lumen. This is my #1 shade. I think it is so beautiful. It does have a glow to it, but it's not shimmery at all. It just makes you look alive. I love the pigment of the shade Lumen. It is decently pigmented. I think the shade Bois, which is this one right here, this is the lightest one. I've used this one not as much as Lumen, but this one you have to build up a little bit more, but I think that's great for lighter skin tones. Even me, I will use this for contour. I just love the formula. I love the compact. They are refillables. I have all 4 shades. And if you're around my skin tone, I would recommend Lumen. It gives the most beautiful bronze. Kind of on the opposite side of this formula is the Hung Van Gogh bronzer. This is hardworking. And this is quite an intense bronzer. For me right now, because I'm not tan at all, I have to be very careful with this one. I have to take a really fluffy brush to use the bronzer because it is quite intense, but I love this formula. It's super soft. It is very matte. It doesn't have glow to it, but it's not chalky. It's very smooth. It is quite pigmented, so just be careful with that. It sculpts your face in the most beautiful way. Every time I wear this bronzer, I feel bronzed. You know, I feel like I just came from the beach. It took me a little bit to realize how much I love it and that I keep reaching for it over and over again, because I felt like in the beginning I was scared a little bit that it made me look a little bit too orange and just too much, but I actually love the effect. And it's been a bronzer that I've used so much. And then the third bronzer that I would recommend is the Dior bronzer. This is the Jumbo something. Dior Forever Nude Bronze. It is such a beautiful bronzer. It's a little softer, so you can build it up. I feel like this is the lighter one out of the Fara Homidi and the Hung Van Gogh. So I give you like 3 different options. This is a matte bronzer, but it's still very soft, very blendable. I actually wore this the other day, and this used to be my go-to bronzer before the Fara Homidi. And I was like, wow, this is so gorgeous. It's such a stunning everyday bronzer, and you get so much product. Yeah, I think the packaging is gorgeous. This is a great bronzer to invest if you want just a good classic bronzer. They will do the sculpting and also bronze you, but it's not intimidating. It's a very blendable product. This is a great one. I almost feel like I need to touch up my makeup. I've had this makeup on since 9 a.m., I want to say. It's been a long day. Okay, moving on to blushes, and there's so many good ones. I'm going to start with one that is not necessarily new, but it is new to Sephora, and that is the Rhode Pocket Blush. I have loved this formula since they came out. I have many colors, but I do plan to get the Tan Lines, I think, color. I don't own that one. But this is such a creamy formula. It's very pigmented but blendable. And I love the effect that it has. It is quite glowy and the pigment is so intense but still very manageable and blendable. I love to put these on my lips as well. I just love the formula. I hate the packaging. I think it just looks like just so impractical, and it's not pretty. I don't think it's pretty, but that's just my opinion. The other one is the Summer Friday blushes. Wow, mine are so dirty, and that's a huge negative because it is white and it catches everything. It's not that white that you can just wipe off easily. Now, if I take a wet cloth, it would come off. But anyway, I'm digressing. So this is the shade Toasted Terracotta. It's so beautiful. This has less pigment than the Rhode, but they are buildable. So you have more of a transparent base, I would say, kind of like the Merit blushes. As you can see, it's more transparent, but you can build it up. So if you want a softer blush, but buildable and very glowy, these are absolutely stunning. I don't think that these set down as much, so if you might mind that, don't get these. But I love the effect that it has, and I don't have an issue with my hair getting stuck to my cheeks or anything like that. It just gives such a beautiful, healthy glow to my cheeks. A blush that I don't think it's for everybody. If you're very minimal with your makeup, you would love this. This is the Glow Recipe Serum Tint Blush, and I really like this color. They actually just came out with a ton of new colors. Wait, let me show you something. I did get this in PR from them. Wow, look at this. I didn't even get to take them out, and I've had this for weeks. I've just been so busy. Look at that. And they have glosses too. Okay, here they are. So they have new colors and glosses. This is so exciting. If they didn't send me in PR, if they didn't send this in PR, I would have bought the new colors from Sephora during the sale because I just love the effect that these give. These have very light coverage. So you feel like, oh, I don't have much on my cheeks, but it is the most healthy looking realistic blush that I have, because naturally we don't have, well, some people do, so this is person to person, but usually you just get a flush of color. You don't have these super red or pink or peachy blush. So I feel like this gives such a realistic effect. It's kind of like a blush from within, and I love them, and they are buildable as well. And I like the applicator. I just love this blush so much. Look at that. During the summertime, I wore this so much. It just felt like it gave me just a very healthy glow to my skin. Okay, that's it for cream blushes. Let's move on to powder blushes. And I really have used these 3 different formulas pretty religiously. Let's start with one that we already know, we already love. It's the YSL blushes. I think that the formula is excellent. The new colors that they came out with are so much more wearable. This is the 23. Absolutely incredible. 10 out of 10. Then we have the shade 06. Really beautiful. Shade 37 is also amazing. So I really think that if you're looking for more of a soft matte blush, these YSL are absolutely stunning. The packaging also, I just feel like I'm getting my money's worth with these. The new CL blushes are also fantastic. And you'll see that all of these actually have a matte finish. And I think they've kind of changed the matte blush formula overall. Like, it's much more modern. It's never chalky. It's so smooth. And even though they say it's matte, it's not that again, chalky matte. It's almost like a creamy matte. So when you apply it over time, it kind of takes over the finish of the foundation. So I really like the CL blushes. I think they are so beautiful. I love the blush brush as well. I was trying to find it here, but I don't know where it is. It's probably in my makeup bag. It's just a great, very fluffy brush. So I really like this formula. My favorite color is Blaze, just because I'm really into these burgundy colors. I feel like that would work with my cheeks. Let's just put it on. I'm just taking a little bit of this and oh, look at that. And all of these are so blendable. They're pigmented without being too much where you're scared to use them. So pretty. And they're perfect for fall. And then the next formula is the Ilia blushes. These are so good. So good. It's the blush that I was wearing before. And I love 2 colors. I have 4 of them, but the shade Wonder is so beautiful. And this is also one, well, this one does have some shine. Okay, I take back what I was saying about a matte finish. I think they're supposed to be kind of matte, but I kind of see a glow there. It's not super intense. It's soft. It's super beautiful, very blendable, buildable. And I also put a little bit of this on top. Look at those. It's just, they're just so pretty. This formula makes me so happy. Let's rewind to powders real quick. I have 3 powders and I'm going to go through these really quick because none of these are really new. Huda Beauty. If you need an intense powder to smooth and blur you, Huda is for you. If you need a touch-up powder, I love these 2 actually. I'm just going to talk about them both. Charlotte Tilbury. It is always in my collection since she released it. I have a small one. I have a big one. I go through them. It's incredible. Quite blurring. Very nice. But this Givenchy is softer than the Charlotte Tilbury, and I think it is gorgeous. This is the shade 3, and I've used quite a bit. I have a huge dent in it, and I'm trying to think if I should replenish this one. I think I could do a little bit more, but this is really beautiful. I actually really like the brush that it comes with. This is very blurring and very soft. It is softer than the Charlotte Tilbury. I'm going to add the face palettes here, and these are the Hourglass face palettes. They're so beautiful. This year, I want to say, is my favorite year. I really like these 3. The Fox one is just too deep for me, so it doesn't work. I actually gave it away, but I just love all of these. I think they're so beautiful. If you are in need, don't just buy it because it's pretty. If you are in need of a face palette, I think you get so many options here. And if you have no Hourglass powders, highlighters, I truly recommend that horse palette. It's back in stock. Hopefully it'll be in stock by the time this video goes live. But this is my favorite out of all the Hourglass palettes that I have. It does have some of their like staple blushes and bronzers, and none of these are new, but they're the best ones. And I reach for this so much. Since I bought this one, I've exclusively been reaching for this one because I have everything I need here. I love the blushes. I love the highlight. I love the bronzer. I love the finishing powder. This is perfection. And even though I do individually own all of these, having it as a palette makes me reach for it so much more than I would individually. I only have one kind of newish highlighter, and I don't think it's going to come as a surprise. It is the Prada highlighters. I think these are so incredibly smooth and beautiful. They're so expensive. Are they worth the money? No, they're not. You know, I think they're $90 if you get percentage off, but they're just so smooth, kind of like silk. And once you put them on, they do not emphasize your texture. It's so blurring. And I just think, yeah, they're my favorite. This video has taken me all day to record. I just got home from my daughter's concert, so I had to stop the video again and go to the concert and come back. But I'm back. I will not have more interruptions, and it is the end of the day. This is a testament for how my makeup is lasting throughout the day. Let's move on to eyes. Talking about my makeup, the eyeshadow palette that I am wearing today is one that I love so much, and I just like this formula and the style of palettes, and that is the Dior Backstage eyeshadow palette. Is that the name? Yes. This is the 002 Smoky Essentials, and I have, I think, 4 total. One was limited edition, but these are, I think, the permanent ones. But out of all of these, I personally use the Smoky Essentials the most. There's something about these tones that I love so much. They work with my undertones. I do love these kind of mauvey burgundy tones, and I think the palette, honestly, all of them are kind of simple and basic, but somehow I create such elegant, effortless looks. And you don't have a ton of sparkles. You don't have a ton of toppers. You know, these are very classic shades. But the way that they blend on the eyes, this is a really good one as well, the Nude Essential. They're just so wonderful. They are kind of that basic eyeshadow palette that you keep reaching for because it's a great everyday palette. So I adore this formula. And if you're curious or you're in need of a good eyeshadow palette that isn't super sparkly and it doesn't have all these toppers and things like that, you just need some basic, good matte slash like shimmers and a little bit of metallic. I think these are so beautiful. I'm not sure if I included them last year or not, but I really love this formula. If you are looking for something a little bit more sparkly than that, or just have a little bit more impact, I think the new Makeup by Mario one is so beautiful. It is not as intense, as sparkly as the original formula or the first release, but I love this palette. I have used it since I got it. I love the mattes. I think the mattes have such a good undertone. They're pigmented, but blendable. And I really like the toppers slash shimmers. You get different formulas. You get a more intense topper from here, but you get softness from them as well, which I truly can appreciate. And I do like these tones. I like that green. And I find this palette to be just a little bit more elegant, maybe, and softer than the Ethereal Eyes #1. And, you know, some people may like that it's just a little softer. You still get that kind of top coat effect, but it's just not quite as blingy. And that's something that I do enjoy. And I honestly really really love it. I've been reaching for it, and I just, again, I think the mattes are perfection. Now, if you're looking for a more versatile palette, a little bit bigger, that has great quality, these from Natasha Denona, the Eye Sculpt Texture and Tone palettes are so beautiful. There's a lighter one, which is here somewhere, but I like this one. This is the one that I would recommend. I think it's just so beautiful. You have a lot of richness in here, and I tend to gravitate towards this palette over the lighter one because I do like that depth that I have in the pigment, yet it's still very blendable. The quality is amazing, and I do get a lot more options here, and I really like that. These are all shimmers. The original one, or the lighter one, is softer, and it only has like 2 shimmers, I think. I should find it. I try to look for it a little bit, but yeah, it's been a crazy day. Now let's move on to the single shadows, and I have a few different formulas. First of all are these from Makeup by Mario. I love these so much. If you are like me and you just want a one and done, long lasting eyeshadow, these are so good. And I love these 2 colors, Chestnut, Bisque, and I really like Sienna, that has a little bit more warmth. I would say that I like Sienna better than Chestnut, but Bisque is really useful shade. It brightens the whole look, and it kind of carves, you know, your eye a little bit. I find so much use from this color. Moving on to a new formula, and that is the Merit Single Solo Sheen. And I have 4 shades total, but I'll tell you my favorite. Sartorial and Matchbook. These 2 are my favorite, and they're worth looking at it. If you like more of a sheen to your eyes, but you don't want sparkle, but you do want some light reflection to your eyes, these are perfect. So these are like that. You can see the sheen to them, and they are buildable. You can have them quite intense. I have a hair somewhere here. Okay, they can be quite sheer, but you can build them up and have them quite intense. Okay, so that's one of them. And then this one's Matchbook, I think. Right here, Matchbook. I love that shade so much because it has kind of like a shift. Once I put this on my eyes, it just creates the most interesting eye. It kind of looks like I've put 3 different colors, but it's just this one. And these are so long lasting. Once they set, you cannot remove them. Like, you cannot wipe them off. You need an actual makeup remover. So to me, Mary did such an amazing job with these, so I'm very excited about them. And the last eyeshadow formula that I want to share are these Danessa Myricks. If you want sparkle, if you want va-va-voom, like you want attention to your eyes, these are it. These have to be the best sparkly shadows that I've ever come across. So these are a duo. You get a more metallic shade and then a foil shade. So one is very sparkly and one's more metallic. Now they both have so much pigment to it and so much sparkle. These stains from Wonderskin, I've had them since this morning. Okay, so we're gonna try to swatch on this other side. So these feel wet when you put them on. Look at that. That's the foil. This is the duo number 3. And then let's put the metallic next to it. This is just as intense. It's just not quite as sparkly. It's more metallic, as you can see there. I love this duo. Duo number 3 is so beautiful. And I think the packaging is also so cool because you can just take one side, you can just bring it like this, or you can connect it. It's just so versatile and can mix and match as well. And if you've been looking for something like this, these are it. You don't need to look anywhere else. They are so beautiful, and they're also very long lasting. I think Danessa Myricks outdid herself with this. The only other recommendations I have for the eyes are the Hung Van Gogh eyeliners. If you need an eyeliner, that is extremely long lasting, that will not budge, that you can smudge, that you can put in your waterline. These are it. These are so good. They remind me of the Marc Jacobs eyeliners. They remind me a little bit of the Victoria Beckham eyeliners. These will not budge. They will not budge. If I keep touching my hair, it's because I feel some pieces of hair just from being out and about. And I'm like, where is it? Okay, let's move on to lips. Final category. We already talked about the Wonderskin lip stain. Absolutely amazing. And I do have to recommend another lip stain. I have my lip stains here. The Huda Beauty lip stains. I really like them as well. I use them a little different. So the Huda lip stains are, I would say, more intense. I use these more as a lip liner, like a true lip liner, because these are so intense. I like the warm brown, but the toasty brown is my favorite, is a true deep brown, like that. And then the warm brown has a little bit more red in it. Warm brown, toasty brown. These are my two favorite colors. Only issue with the Huda one is that, first of all, I go through it so quickly. You don't get a lot of product, and it is quite expensive, and you have to store them upside down. That's why I have them in here, because I have to store them upside down. Otherwise, all the pigment will be at the bottom. So if I store it like this, nothing will come out. So it has to be pointing down. Besides that, as liners, if you're looking for something soft, kind of blurring, that it's kind of like, I don't want to say a no lip liner, because these Merit lip liners, you see the product, you see the pigment, but it gives that blur effect, almost like a smudged out liner, and I think it's so cool. On the opposite side of the Merit ones, we have the Hung Van Gogh lip liners. These are still gel formula, but they are so long lasting, and the Merit ones are a little sheer, so they're not super intense. They're kind of that soft lip. These are very intense, very long lasting. I think they shape your lips so well. They have really cool undertones. I love Create the Shape. Let me see if I have it here. Here it is. Create the Shape is probably my most used one because it's such a good brownie nude. Wow, what a swatch. Just put it right here. That's Create the Shape. Again, it is my go-to. And I do like the darker ones as well, just to smudge them in. Above the line is a really intense one, but Follow Exactly, I think it's what I'm wearing today. That's Follow Exactly, and I have it on the outside. And this has been on since this morning. I have the stain underneath and this liner with it, and I don't even remember what I put on. It was a long time ago. Out of all the lip liners that I have, at the moment, I think that these are the best ones I have because they are that sharpenable. Is that a word? You can sharpen these, which is my preferred method for lip liners. They are very long lasting. They are blendable, but they set down. They are long lasting, and the colors are really, really cool. And so if you're looking to invest in a good lip liner, and you find a color that you like, this is where it's at. There's not a ton of new lipsticks that I've tried that I'm like, wow, these are amazing. I do have some interesting formulas though. These Violette FR, oh my gosh, are so good and so unique. It's kind of like a moussey matte formula. I'm gonna try one on. Actually, let's try the lighter one. And the way I use them, I usually add them in the center and use my finger to blend it out. And it gives that very blurred out look to your lips. Oh my gosh, that's so beautiful. I love the formula. I have 3 colors. I want them all. And I just think that this is one of the most unique matte formulas. It's not drying. I mean, it's not super moisturizing either, but it's not that liquid lip that it sets down. It's a moussey texture that is almost whipped, and it just feels so comfortable. It kind of feels like I'm just adding not a lip balm, but a velvety texture lip. That's the best I could come up with, okay? And the colors are interesting. I would love to see an expansion for the colors. There are some deeper ones that I really like this one. This is such a cool color. It kind of matches my shirt. Look at that. Oh, it's so beautiful. Might as well add a little bit of this one. And you can have full pigment with these, or you can do what I like to do is blend them out with your finger. And it kind of gives you, again, that kind of smudged out liner lip thing. I think it's so cool and chic. And I think the red one would look so good smudged out. Now, this next lipstick is so good that I pretty much have the entire line. I think maybe I'm missing 1 or 2 colors. And these are not all of it, but these are the Dior On Stage lipsticks. These are the most juiciest lipstick, a long-lasting, intense pigment lipstick that I've seen probably ever. I think they are so gorgeous. Just look at this pigment and gloss. So good. They have such interesting colors. I would love to see more. Okay, let's take an intense one, a really dark one. But look, it almost looks like you're having a gloss on your lips. And not only is it glossy, but they last almost all day. Like, they're not completely transfer proof, but they are very, very long lasting. And they have such good nudes as well. They are unique, interesting, just something new on the market. Now they smell like the Dior lipsticks. They smell so intensely. So if you are against scent in your fragrance, not your fragrances, in your lipsticks, these may not be it for you, but they are for me. Besides those, I do have one that I want to share with you that I think is so unique and fun and special, and that is the Guerlain lipsticks. Now, this is their new, I think it's limited edition, and look at this. This is so special and so unique. I have so many of these now, and they are so loved and appreciated in my collection. Oh, where are they? They're probably in my purse, most of them. But this new one is so fun. And I'm not somebody who loves very sparkly or gems or things like that. But this one is made so uniquely. It kind of looks vintage to me. So you have all these gems that make the lipstick, and you take off the lipstick, you have a mirror right there, and then you can pick whatever lipstick you want to go in here. This is such a good color. It is called, let's take the light here because we're blind. It's the shade 08, and it's really, really beautiful. A beautiful kind of peachy nude. It's a really good color. Should we add a little bit in the center? Why not? We have like 10 things on my lips now. Moving on to glosses. I'm going to start with these Edam glosses or they call them something else. Lip Softening Balm. I have their 2 newest releases, which is their holiday releases. So the first one is kind of a transparent with a little bit of yellow gold sparkle through it. It's really beautiful. And then there is another one that, again, it's probably in my purse. I should just go get my purse. I thought I brought it here. Here it is. Thank God. I was like, am I losing my mind? Am I that tired? This is a chocolatey one, and it smells so good. And it is, let me swatch it. Again, I'm using my left hand. So this one also has sparkles through it, but it is a deep chocolatey color. And the sparkles are gold and maybe a little bit of pink in there. So beautiful. And these Edam lip balms are 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. They're very moisturizing. They have different colors. So their packaging looks like this, the normal packaging, but that is just the limited edition for holiday. But all the colors that I have, this is Guava. It's such a pretty color. All of them are 10 out of 10. That one smells like guava. Another incredible formula is from this brand called Wise Beauty. And this is their hydrating lip tint. This is in the lightest shade, like the pinky shade. Now, I tried this one on camera with you guys first time. And I was just like, oh, let me try this balm on real quick. And I was shocked. I was like, oh, wow. Like, this is a great balm. It is so smoothing. I don't know if you can tell how smooth the skin underneath looks like. And it's very unique. It's, again, long-lasting, kind of thick, but it doesn't feel as glossy as the Edam. It feels more like a balm, but it does have that gloss to it, and it's a very healing on the lips. So if I have really chapped lips, this is the one I'm going for. The last thing I'm going to talk about is brushes. And I think that this is a good time to invest in brushes because they're expensive and you can get a percentage off. I don't think that Sephora has my favorite brushes. I love Refer, I love BK Beauty, I love Sonia G brushes. So I don't have a ton of brushes to recommend, but there's a few. Let's start with the Hourglass dual-ended brushes. I think that these are incredible quality. This is my favorite one. It is so soft. It applies product so well. This is the powder dual-ended brushes. Honestly, all the Hourglass brushes are so good. This is one that's not dual-ended. It doesn't have a name on it. But the Hourglass brushes are so good. They're an investment, but I've had this one for years and it's never shed on me. I can clean it. It's so easy. Absolutely gorgeous. Another dual-ended brush, actually. I used to hate dual-ended brushes, like hate them, and now I love them. Is this Makeup by Mario F4 brush, if I'm not mistaken. I think it rubbed off, but I use this for my foundation, my concealer. It is a perfect brush. I use this for contour, like cream contour. It's the perfect angle, and honestly, I'm probably gonna stock up on another one. Some other brushes that are dual-ended, I told you I have an obsession with dual-ended brushes, are these Patrick Ta dual-ended brushes. I love this one. It is for face number 3. This one is so beautiful. It's very soft. You can add your creams with this, the powder on top for your blush. It is very soft, and I think it's an excellent brush. I also really like the Sephora brushes. All their collection, I think they're incredible, and I think it's 30% off, if I'm not mistaken. They usually are 30% off. Wow, I was about to finish the video without my finishing sprays or setting sprays. I have 3. I stuck to the 3. The Hourglass Veil Soft Focus Setting Spray. This is the best setting spray if you want to melt in your makeup. So if you want your makeup to just melt into each other and look flawless, this is it. Do not overuse it because it can be quite intense. If you want hairspray for your face, this is where it's at. One size. I'm almost out. I already have some in my cart. This is the most long-lasting setting spray ever. And then if you're in between, you want something to set, you want something to kind of melt your makeup into each other and kind of make it look powderless, the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Setting Spray is perfection. I have backups. I like the minis. I like them all. So those are my 3 setting spray recommendations. And those are all the products. Wow, that's a lot of beautiful products. I stand by all of them. I think they're amazing. And just a quick reminder, just because it's a sale, you don't have to take part of it. You can just watch these videos and enjoy them and not purchase anything. Do not feel like you have to be part of the sale. It's 20% off or 15 or 10. It's not that big of a sale. It's not like it's 50% off and you're missing out. So you're fine. You don't have to purchase things if you already have them. Don't let us influence you. But if you are like me and I've waited some time to purchase some of these products with the 20% off, you know, this is the time, and everything will be linked down below. Those links are affiliate. I always say this when there's a sale or something big happening, that everything is affiliate and I make commission off of what you purchase. It's a small commission, but this is how I can have you to purchase products, review them for you. And I really appreciate your help. I know many of you are so intentional to use my links to help me out, and you don't have to, of course, but I do encourage you to find a creator that you love, that you appreciate their video, and just use their links. It helps us so much. You have no idea. Without you guys, we wouldn't be able to do this. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Happy shopping if you take part of, and if not, hopefully you just had fun just watching this video, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.